Yeshua blessings, everyone. First, I would like to tell you, if you have any children, please take them out of the room. I pray to Heavenly Abba Yahweh that whatever I say does not harm anyone who watches my videos and does not trigger anyone who watches my videos, in Yeshua's name. I am giving my testimony so that I can shed Yeshua's living light onto the darkness and cast it to the foot of the cross. For my viewers, the past 4 years, you have watched a lot of my recovery. You've watched me stand strong and you've watched me fall down. But I am remaking my videos with my testimony because I want to be clear and I want to redo them. I want to help victims become survivors. And again, it's not about the people that mock me or the trolls that use my last name in my videos just so they can get viewers. It's not about the trolls and those who try to discredit me. It's about turning victims into survivors. And if my testimony helps someone else, then I pray Yahweh utilizes me in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. When I woke up December 2014, forgive me, I see my chat, but I need to stay focused, so please forgive me. I'll give shout outs at the end of the show. Hi, Galen. Everybody. Amy Maxine, Mel V, Jeff Dillman, J. Julia Z, Arian Princess. I love you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I have troll slayers in my chat room. But I think that it's very important now for me to give my testimony and to be very clear and try to make these videos better than I did before. I've made progress in my recovery, so therefore I will be able to give you my testimony better than I have in the past, which is what I hope to do. Hi, Paul. Welcome. So first and foremost, I would like to say thank you very much to Before It's News, beforeitsnews.com. They are also on Facebook. I would like to say thank you very much for picking up the first video I ran. And thank you for everything. See, my testimony does not only speak to people coming from deep underground military bases, but it also speaks to others that have defected from the 13 elite of families. It goes to speak to people defecting from covens, satanic families, or other families that are part of the military. So it's not only that these cages exist in deep underground military bases, but also they exist in covens and wealthy families that use MK Ultra mind control techniques. There's a lot of children that are trafficked. There's a lot of adults that are trafficked. And I don't want any of them to suffer anymore. I don't have the sources and resources to go back for them, shut down a dumb, dethrone an elite family, or bring a politician to justice. But I hope for people coming out of MK Ultra mind control programming that my testimony gives them some comfort. They feel that, I pray that they feel they have a place to go and that they're not alone. That's what's most important. Because I remember 4 years ago when I woke up, there was no place for me to go. And to reach out to a ministry or reach out to a fellow super soldier that I recalled seemed near impossible to do. They never responded. to me. It was only when I started showing up at the conferences that ministries would sponsor and go to and speak at, that then they started listening to me and helping me. And I don't want anybody suffering anymore. So I just want to say again, thank you very much to Before It's News for giving me a chance and opportunity. It has meant the world to me, and I deeply appreciate it. I also want to thank all of those people who took my 39 interviews over the past almost 2.5 years. I came forward August 2016, 1 month after Max Spears died. And I've done 39 interviews worldwide on the internet. Some channels had a translator there helping me. And I deeply appreciate all of those opportunities. It's meant the world to me. I pray that going forward, I do a better job of explaining myself and articulating myself. So, okay. After doing the last video, I remembered a couple more things, and I did write them down. We'll go through them. Wow. Skinner boxes. A lot of people from deep underground military bases that have come forward have spoken of them. I can only tell you what I remember. And I'm not going to be using anyone's name. I'm going to tell you the stories, and I'm going to be honest, open, in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. So I believe when I was a small child, I lived a double life. So I'm 44 years old now. Since I was born, I was used in these projects. When I was 37 in December 2011, I was allowed to leave these projects. So I served 37 years of my life to US, UK, and Canada's government and military. A lot of my memories are fragmented, and I'm still piecing them together, and I still recall new things in this current day, which reminds me of another memory I can tell you about in this video. When I was a very small child, my memories, I used to have a photographic memory, still do. If I'm in a relaxed, calm state of mind, I have a photographic memory. I can read a book and I remember all the words on each page and every sentence and every paragraph that I read. You flip the page and I can remember the next one, and so on and so forth. When I was a small child, my experiences of Skinner boxes and deep underground military bases. I have to digress a second. Excuse me. If somebody is going to take my testimony and shape it into their words to give to somebody else so they can get benefits or so they can get acknowledgement of being an MK Ultra survivor when they are truly not, I want to say shame on you. Shame to you. You didn't go through it, but you used our stories so you could get benefits that you don't deserve, such as disability. Getting back to my story. When I was a small child, my experience of being in a Skinner box is, I'll tell you my memories. I was locked into a Skinner box, but I remember sitting there, like this, in the Skinner box. And through my toes, these snakes would slither through. I was put in a Skinner box with snakes of all kinds, and they would slither around me, and you had to stay calm, and you didn't want to move. But those things would slither through my toes, and I'd feel them coming up and go all over me. I remember trying not to flinch, trying not to move, and they would leave us in there. For long amounts of time. I don't know how long, but us kids would be locked in Skinner boxes. I remember being locked in one by myself, and those snakes just slithering all around me. I would clench my muscles up and pray they didn't go into places they weren't supposed to be in. It sounds crude and raw, and I apologize, but I was a small child. There's another memory I have of I'm going to go through my fragmented memories with you. They're in no certain order, but I'll give it to you straight. There was another time in a deep underground military base. They had, it seemed like a caged in pen, like real big. There were 3 large apes or monkeys. One liked to eat your flesh. Another one liked to beat you. They looked like they were oversized monkeys. And I was thrown into this caged pen with them, and there was some other children with me. My memory fragments from here on out. Without using any names, there was another super soldier, another small child in there with me. And he's helped me through my recovery to this day. When the monkey came over to me that beat your brains in, it started bashing me, and that's when I draw a blank. But this other super soldier child came and saved me from the monkeys and got me out of their way. And he put himself in danger to protect me. And those monkeys went and tried to pummel him, trying to eat his flesh, trying to bash his brains in. And that other super soldier tried protecting me from those monkeys. Just as they did human experimentation on me and the other children, they also did it on animals, monkeys, wolves, snakes. So what you guys see on the History Channel, animals, well, for me, in a deep underground military base, I was with those same animals, but see, those animals were also experimented on. So they weren't your average size. They weren't exactly what you see in the animal kingdom today, but very similar. The wolves that ate the other children, they were overgrown. They weren't your typical wolf. They also, these animals also went through experimentation, so they were bigger. I remember seeing kids being fed to them. Also in deep underground military bases, us children would be forced to watch animals being tortured themselves and ripped apart. I can remember the animals' screams and cries as they were being tortured too. And then us kids would be thrown in the cages with them. And we would have to fight them to survive. I was a very young child. I mean, for 37 years of my 44 years of life, I was subject to these things. As a young child, I believe I was under the age of 3. And while inside these dumbs, me and the other children, we were so young. You couldn't put us in a cot. We'd roll out. We were just babies in diapers and very young children. There's this one memory I have where we were put in like what seemed like a playpen. It was just us children. And we were put down to go to sleep. And I remember a couple girls and other boys in the playpen with me. We were small children. And there was another little boy. We had become friends. So I would always go near him and this other little girl who I keep nameless, and I would sleep next to them. But this one little boy was my friend. And one night came that somebody came in and said, I don't want my son being a part of these projects. I'm taking him out. I don't want him with Holly. And he grabbed the little boy and he took him out of the playpen and walked out of the room. And I cried my heart out because I had just lost my friend. Now, this testimony that I'm giving to you guys, I've already given to Russ Disdar's SIIU team. I've already given to Scott Hensler, and I've already given to the public several times. So I'm not budging from it. I'm standing by it. I'm going to reiterate it to you, and hopefully in a better way and manner than I did in the past, because I've had to go through a lot of time to heal and recover. And I'm sure that I still have more time to go to heal and recover. So about 5, 6, 7 years of age, I remember being in deep underground military bases. I'm not sure where, but I remember them schooling us. Just like how you guys send your kids to school. Well, in deep underground military bases, we were sent to school too. But our schools are different than yours. I remember learning symbols in different languages. Some of the symbols look like Sumerian language. you know, those cone things, the cuneiform in the Sumerian language, Enochian language, that's New Age stuff. If you guys, excuse me, I'm going to digress. Enoch 1 is a great text to listen to and watch, and it is true. But when you get into Enoch 2 and Enoch 3, you're getting into New Age stuff. And that's not Enoch who wrote them. That's somebody else that's diluting the text of Enoch. Enochian language is not of Yahweh in Yeshua's name. It is something that you guys need to put down, turn away from, and not look back to for the rest of your lives. And if anybody tells me again that I need to go and look up all this Enochian crap, excuse me, garbage, I'll block you without thinking twice. You're wasting my time and you're off on another path that's diluted and misdirected. And I'm telling you this because I come from the dumps, and all they do is corrupt the Holy Bible in deep underground military bases. I don't have time for that. I only have time for Yeshua HaMashiach. I only have time for the one true spirit of the universe, and that's Heavenly Abba's spirit, called the Holy Spirit. Anything outside of that needs to be cast to the foot of the cross in Yeshua's name. I only have time for Heavenly Abba, Yudha Veha. Behold the hand, behold the nail. So in these schools, in the dumbs, we were educated. We were given different puzzles to work with. There was a woman, but there were also, I think, 2 men, but they were like Nazi dressed in Nazi garb. I don't know who they were, not very clearly. A lot of their faces that I remember still look a little fuzzy as time goes on and I progress more in Yeshua and I turn to him and I heal and recover, then the more that those faces become clear to me. This is going to sound terrible, but again, please understand, I had Stockholm Syndrome over Joseph Mangli. So when I first woke up, I had a lot of work to do to get beyond and past that, which may answer to my audience why I might word things a little weird. I no longer have Stockholm Syndrome for Joseph Mangli, the death angel of World War II, who I called Joe the Mechanic. But in these schools, in deep underground military bases, I liked them. I liked them. I did good at them. I got the languages. I understood the symbols. I understood the puzzles. It came naturally to me. I liked it. I succeeded. I was an ace at it. But when you put me in Liberty Corner School or William Annan Junior High or Ridge High School in Basking Ridge, I failed every grade. In Liberty Corner School, grammar school, I remember them telling my biological mother how stupid I was and how I needed to be in core classes, which meant that me and a few other kids would be put into a smaller class, shown how to read by teachers who would stand over us with bad breath, and still I would fail. In Liberty Corner School, grammar school, I was bullied. That's when the bullying first started. I got to William Annan Junior High, and because I had a crush on some boy, another girl and all of her friends started bullying me, saying, "We're going to kick your ass, Holly." I should have not been scared of them and taken them up on it. I'm an ex-super soldier. The government and military wanted nothing to do with them. But anyway, and I have memories of Liberty Corner School. I have one memory where they took me and a couple other kids and they walked us down the staircase. It was by the principal's office in the back. And they walked us down the staircase to the basement. They stopped us at the door and they had said something. And we walked in and I don't remember anything. So I believe that Liberty Corner School was in on this MK Ultra mind control project stuff. And I'm going to speak it the way I remember it. That's where it started. And when Joseph Mangli let me out of these projects, I can talk to that. When he let me out of these projects, he dropped me off at Liberty Corner School in Liberty Corner, New Jersey. That's where he let me go. I decided to go to a church. The other super soldier that he let go decided to go her own way. And by the way, the super soldier that went her own way, I always considered my best friend, because I remember walking into the DUMS as a young person, maybe 10, 11, 12, 13, I can't remember, but I said to this one super soldier, I said, I get bullied and told that all these girls, there's like 5 of them, that want to kick my ass. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm always bullied. I'm always made fun of. And this woman, who I will not give the name of, she turned to me and said, Holly, you're here, not them. You can take down that school if you want, by yourself. What are you afraid of? They can't handle this. You're here, not them. Don't let them get to you. When I got to Ridge High School, Ridge High, Basking Ridge, New Jersey, those girls did not give me a break. Instead, their friends just added to it. So then I had 30 people I had to deal with harassing me. And I always stood down and cowered to them as if they had some sort of power or strength. And for what? Because I had a crush on a boy when I was in 7th grade named Jeff. Y'all got mad and y'all like keep coming at me, coming at me, coming at me, coming at me. I didn't do anything. I can't help who my heart loves. And now you want to kick my ass because my heart loves some boy that you like too. And he calls me and not you. So like, get over it. But anyway. So my life in schools here, in this normal life, sucked. I went to Raritan Valley Community College in Somerville, New Jersey. The harassment and bullying continued on there. I remember a guy walking out of his class and saying, Holly, if I wanted to murder you now, I could, and they wouldn't find your body. And I was walking from a main building of Raritan Valley Community College out to my car, but I was taking a path through the woods that was a shortcut to get there. So I was bullied my whole life. But anyway, let me go back to Liberty Corner School. They told my biological mother, and she bought it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, if you give her a drug, she'll take it. So that doesn't say too much about her, but just to give you a background. So they told her I was stupid. I needed to be put in core classes. I remember in kindergarten, when you see the color chart, you have red, blue, green, yellow. The color chart, it's teaching you colors. It's teaching you how to spell purple and associate the word purple with the color purple. Well, with those color charts, I always saw to the left of the color chart the color yellow-orange. If you take yellow and orange and mix it together, but put like pearl sparkles to it, that's what I always saw. The other girls in class used to laugh at me. And because of that and some other things, I was held back. So I went from kindergarten to first, to pre-first, to second grade. So all my life I failed schools. I was bullied and, excuse me. I hated going to school in this normal life. But and I'm saying normal life versus double life, so you understand that I led a normal life like all of you did. I went to prom. I had jobs. I graduated high school. I lived a normal life like all of you, but I also lived a double life, and I was subject to deep underground military bases. And the schools in those domes I excelled at. I was an ace at. No one called me stupid. No one put me in a core class, and the other girls did not bully me. They left me alone. They actually protected me, some of them. So I don't know that I can say that. I did very well at the schools and the DOMs, and I liked them. I excelled in those schools. I like the different languages. I like the different symbols. And I'm also from Project Seagate. You all have heard about Stargates. There's about 48 Stargates worldwide. You've seen the movie back in, what was it, the 80s or 90s, named Stargate. Well, Seagates are a Stargate, but they're under the ocean. Oh, by the way, when you see my door open, it's not a ghost. It's my little cat, Sava. You want to see? I can prove it. Come here, Sava. Oh, this is Sava. She saved my heart. And I saved the kitten. All right, so 1 second. Addie! Hey, Addie, I love you. Are you okay, Addie? I love you, Addie. I hope you're doing all right. Okay, I don't want to say anything that harms you, sweetheart. I adore you. Okay. All right. Evelyn. Okay, I'll get to my chat at the end. Forgive me. If I don't stay focused, I'll get off on tangents and I'll never get this video done. Excuse me. So, I'm going to digress 1 second. Okay, you see this book? It's by Russ Dizdar. It's about super soldiers. I was reading it, and it's real easy reading. Big letters, like easy to understand words. But I got to about somewhere here in the book, and it triggered me. And one day I woke up in the morning, and I had a recalled memory. And I had to get in touch with Russ Dizdar's SIIU team because I said, while I was reading your book, a couple things happened. I do remember learning other languages. And, you know, when I woke up December 2014, I was looking up Sumerian, Persian, Egyptian. I was looking up all these different languages and different things. And I thought that was a little off. But while I was reading your book, I had a recalled memory where I sat up and I started talking to a Nazi soldier. He was in the Nazi garb, real huge man. And in my recalled memory, I sat up and I started speaking, I believe, German to him, saying, I am the troops for the Antichrist. And that's when they spent some time with me. We went into prayer. I gave them more of my testimony. I told them about the playpens, the Skinner boxes, the schools, and everything I could remember. I worked with Russ Dizdar. And when I say worked with, I mean went through therapy and prayers and deprogramming with Russ Dizdar. I've worked with Scott Hensler. Scott Hensler's great. Who else? Right now I'm seeking out a third Freedom Deliverance Ministry, but right now I'm good with watching their videos online. And when the time is right, maybe I can open up dialogue with them. But I love to pick people's brains. And I like to use all resources available to me. That's why Yahweh gave us all of these ministries that are Holy Spirit led and filled, is to do this so we can heal and recover, and so we can be soldiers for Yahweh, so we can be on Team Yeshua. It's important. But what else can I tell you? Forgive me. I know, breathe, right, Holly? Just breathe. It's okay. We'll get through this. Yahweh's heartbeat. Yahweh's Holly Baglio. Yahweh's heartbeat. Yahweh's Holly Baglio. Okay, I want to keep a calmness. So, all right, I'm going to jump around again. Another super soldier reached out to me, and the super soldiers I refuse to name, they are all public. And yes, they've helped me. Some have just had to downright correct me, which that's helping me too. But, you know, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, is deprogram from MK Ultra programming, turn from my wicked ways, and walk in accordance to the Holy Bible. It's an everyday battle and struggle with me. And most of the time I feel like I fail, but I'm not going to give up. I want to make my my holy, holy, heavenly Abba Yahweh proud of me. And actually Yahweh is pronounced Yud-Ha-Veh-Ha. I say Yahweh because I'm bad at pronunciation, and I always ask for forgiveness and a little bit of allowance. So if I upset or offend anyone out there, I deeply apologize. That's not my forte. I'm doing what I need to do. And I pray you continue to do what you need to do, because heavenly Yud-Ha-Veh-Ha, behold the hand, behold the nail, has you carrying a piece of his puzzle, me carrying a piece, our other brothers and sisters carrying different pieces, and together with each piece that we carry for Yud-Ha-Veh-Ha, it puts together Yahweh's grand masterpiece. And Yeshua's in the middle. He's our life, love, truth, and the only way. Yahweh is our frame, and the rest of the meeks, the rest of our brothers and sisters, fill in that beautiful picture, is the way that I see it. And again, my favorite subject to talk about is Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So you're going to get that too from me. Oh, I can't wait to make the videos about my dream book and about my walk that he gave me in Yeshua's name. That's going to be really cool. But first, I'd like to start with this. I've been working on an autobiography for 2 years, and I've gotten a whopping 2 pages typed. But through these videos, I can give it to you now. You can ask me questions, and it can be interactive, and I like that idea. So, plus, by the time I get that book written, it's just, oh, a lot of work. A lot. But, okay, back to my testimony. I have more memories to go through with you. There's another super soldier that has also been helping me these past couple of years. I will leave her nameless, please. She's public and all, but let's leave her nameless because, okay, what's important is that I give you my testimony. If you're going through it, then you have a place to go, and I'll do my best to respond and talk to you and give you my hand and all of my prayers and help you deprogram. And by deprogram, I mean you give your testimony, we talk about what you remember, and then we pray to Heavenly Abba, surrender your memories to him, ask for him to restore and rebuild your mind. We pray for your altars and broken pieces, subpersonalities to be reintegrated into your core personality. And we pray for your future in Yeshua's name. And that is deprogramming. I do not suggest, and some people may get upset with me, and again, I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just going to tell you in my humbled opinion what I believe to be right. I do not suggest hypnosis. If you get hypnotized, the hypnotist can put you into an altar that you may not be able to get out of to get back to your core personality. There's a famous actor, I forget his name. They cracked him so bad inside a deep underground military base. They fractured his mind with trauma, torture-based techniques so bad that when his mind fractured and cracked, he went into an altar. They couldn't do anything with him but farm him out to Hollywood to be a comedian. And I don't think it would be appropriate to give his name at this time. I could find out his name. I know what he looks like. It's just I'm bad with names normally. I know most of you have watched his movies and laugh along, but that's his altar, and he can't get out of it. That's how broken he is. How about, I'm going to keep digressing from my testimony, but let me give you examples, though. How about these people in mental wards that are talking about CIA agents and the government and what they did for them? But because they just ramble on and on and on and on and don't make sense, people think they're crazy, put them on drugs, put them in a mental ward, and say goodbye. Meanwhile, he was exposed to these MK Ultra mind control projects, trauma, torture-based techniques. And society wants to throw the guy away. There's nothing wrong with him. Well, actually, excuse me, let me take that back. There's nothing wrong with him except the fact that his government and military fractured his mind so much that he's stuck talking about these things that really happened, but people, society just dismiss him. Oh, he's crazy. Well, no, really, he's not. He used to be a CIA agent just like the rest. He used to serve the CIA. And now they mess with him so much, all you can do is put him in a mental ward. That's our government's fault, not this guy's fault. I'm not explaining myself right. Let me just stick to my testimony. There was another woman who's been helping me for a while, and we were talking about the cages and different projects. And she helped me a lot dealing with my biological mother and the abuse I endured from her. So I was able to come to terms with my biological mother and what she did to me through this woman. This woman reminds me from the cages and the dumbs, and I won't specify which projects because I have respect for her privacy. But anyway, her and I were in a cage, locked in there. Outside of the cage, animals were being tortured, children were being tortured, children were being fed to animals, and they were using torture techniques to splinter our minds. She told me, Holly, I grabbed onto you and I made you look in my eyes and I made you breathe and I made you focus. She goes, Holly, your conscience was leaving. You were so traumatized. You were flipping out. You were crying and screaming. You were splitting apart and your conscience was leaving. She goes, I hung on to you and I took you into my arms and I made you look in my eyes and I kept you there with me and I made you focus on me so that way you didn't see what was going on around you. That's pretty important. That's very important. Because when you're tortured and traumatized that bad, you leave your body to escape. And at that point, when your body's still left there, they can do whatever they want to it. That's another altar that they can program. And by programming, well, that might be another conversation I'll get to. I'm going to have to look over this video and make sure I run it right. I feel very self-conscious right now. But we'll just talk about the training and the splitting and all of that. I'm going to bring up another person. There's this girl I met, and I'll leave her nameless, but her and I believe that we recall each other from Montauk. She may be one of the children that me and another super soldier broke out of a cage while we were trying to escape Montauk, dumb. And we brought this little girl with us. This little girl calls me her big sister. And I am older than her. But when me and another super soldier tried to escape Montauk, we brought about 5 other children with us. So one of those 5 other children, I believe I reunited with. But again, memories are fuzzy and hazy. So we are still seeking to deprogram and do our best in Yeshua's name. There's another memory I have where one of the things that they did to us children was they brought us out to a field. And you know, track and field, when you stand on a track and you're about ready to run a sprint, they have you lined up to run. Well, they brought us kids out to a field and they lined us up. On the field were a bunch of I'm sorry. I'll get back to the boards. I need a second, guys. Forgive me. Sorry. Had to take care of something. All right, so they brought us kids out to a field. They lined us up, and across the field were a bunch of, it looked like plywood. You know, when you build a house, you put plywood on the frame of a house, on the floors of a house. Well, it looked like it was plywood, squares, on the field, scattered about. Oh, I had to run outside and back real quick. Forgive me. They made us kids run across the field. And the point was to step on each plywood piece and not get hurt. Underneath the plywood were rattlesnakes. Big, huge rattlesnakes. And I get running as fast as I can, just putting the palm of my foot down on the plywood and trying to jump off and run to the next and get to the next as fast as I can. And on one plywood, that snake came out and just bit me on the ankle. I was envisioning my grandmother's house on the other end of the field, and I was trying to get there. You know, keep your eye on the prize. Don't focus on what you're doing, but keep your eye on the prize and keep going and keep running. But that snake came out and bit me. And I don't remember anything else after that. I have two more stories. And then I'll say hi to my chat and go. Remember from the last video I made, the first one, about what it's like to live in a den locked inside of a cage? Well, I believe it was Nelson, Canada. Us children were in an above ground base or an above ground government facility. I believe well, in Nelson, Canada, there was a day where I believe I remember seeing one of the little boys talking to a security guard. And the security guard, the special forces that had us under armed guard, I mean, they all had weapons on them. They were special forces protecting us. You can't leave. You can't come in. You can't do anything. Special forces with all their weaponry and rifles are standing around us children. You don't do anything without them knowing. I believe some of those special forces also raped and roughed us children up for their leisure. And that was outside of what the projects we were already being forced to be a part of. Special forces would just have fun with us. They're not all decent people, in my humbled opinion and understanding. So there was this one day, I believe, that one of the guards said to a boy, you know, Holly's your friend. She's a friend. And I remember that little boy looking at me. I had heard a whisper of someone coming to save us. Now I thought, oh, they're going to come save us kids. That means we get to go back home, and none of this ever happened. Yeah. Anyway, that was the farthest thing from the truth, what I thought. But a day came where we were being moved. Us kids were put in, what do you call it, a convoy. You had a bunch of Hummers or military vehicles in a line driving down the road. They were moving us. Through my research and studies, I found out it was Majestic 12. While they had us kids in these military vehicles in a convoy moving us, I believe it was Majestic 12 that all of a sudden put us under fire. The bullets started zinging. So the convoy we were in starts shooting back. They're shooting at us. I'm in the vehicle with a few kids. We can't stay there. We can't stay in the vehicle. We have to move. I'm the first to get out. The boys come with me out too. We're all getting out. I must have been 5, about 6. I don't know the exact age I was. We get out. Everybody's under gunfire. People are shooting in all directions. We get out of the vehicle and we make a break for it. We start running. I thought we came up onto a building or a structure, and we try to hide behind it. But the bullets are zinging through the structure. We had no cover. The bullets are just coming at us. And I'm crouched down with two other boys, and I thought they were brothers. And we're all in white, dressed like in white. It seemed like a hospital gown or something, or just white pants, white shirt. And we're crouched down and the bullets are zinging, and the two boys and I look at each other and we got to run. We can't stay. We run out around this structure. I thought it was a building. We run out from the back of it and we cross in front and we start running. And the bullets keep flying. And I'm behind the two boys running as fast as I could. I see the one brother get shot in the back and he goes down. The other brother kept running and I kept running right behind him. And after that, I don't remember what happened. Through my research and studies, I found out that it was Majestic 12 that came to rescue us, but their rescue only led to them getting us and putting us into different projects that I guess they thought were less abrasive than what we just came from. Some of the other children died. Some of the others made it out, like me and that other little boy made it out of the gunfire and the gunfight. But then we were brought somewhere else. And from there, my memory's just hazy and I don't remember. When I was approximately 13 years old, I remember being in a deep underground military base. I thought I was 13. They used to make us kids fight each other. So us super soldiers would fight each other to the death. The next memory I have is my military commander was sitting in a room. He has a gold cube in his hands, and he moved it somehow. It summoned me. I remember walking into the room because I was summoned, and my military commander said, "Fight." So I grabbed this other super soldier up. She was about the same age as me. I grab her by the neck, I throw her down on the floor, and I start fighting her to the death. Other people were watching us. I don't remember who they were. My commander was there. And I fought this girl to the death. And when it was done, I was forced to do this. This was against my will. I was an involuntary candidate in Yeshua's name. I beat her to a pulp. There's blood all over. I stand up. She's on the ground. I'm the one that walks out of the room. I walk out of the room. I cross the hallway. And when I get to the wall, I just put my back down and I put my back to it and I sunk down and put my knees up and I crouched down like this. My military handler comes out of the room. It looked like he had a glove on. And he goes, "Holly, get used to it." Turns his head, walks down the rest of the corridor, and exits out a room. What bothers me to this day is that other super soldier I had to fight in the dump. From my understanding, she's dead. But when I see her on YouTube in this current day, for the life of me, I can't understand it because the original person is gone. So what's that on YouTube? I'm done with my testimony that I can give you right now. There's other things about the dumps that I could say, but if everybody doesn't mind, I'll take it piece by piece by piece by piece. I really want to give as much detail and as much thought and put as much of my heart into this as I can because I want to help the victims become survivors. And I'm not alone. Whether it's a wealthy family, an elite family, a Bilderberg family, or a coven that someone defects from, trying to turn from their wicked ways and turn to Yeshua and just trying to get back the quality of their life. Hopefully my testimony will give them some comfort so they know they're not alone, so they don't give up the good fight, so they keep their chin up, and so they keep moving forward. So they keep trucking onward. Yes. I think I got it. I pray I did a good job, and I'll keep trying. And I'm not done talking about the dumbs. I just got started. So without further ado, let me give my love to my chat room. Arian Princess, JJ Julia, Jeff, Mel V, Amy, Galen, Jeff, Paul, Soviet. How are you, comrade? Amy, what are you doing? Terium Firma. Where am I now? I am in the privacy of my bedroom. How did I get where I am living now? I found this place on Craigslist. They accepted me, my cat and dog, and I just started paying them rent. I used to have my own home, but I lost it. And then I was separated from all of my possessions, except my cat and dog and clothes and car. Does trauma cause photographic memory, says Aryan Princess. To be honest, for me, yes. I acquired that photographic memory from deep underground military bases and what they did to me. I was forced to be a part of satanic sacrifices and rituals. Also in deep underground military bases, I was exposed to reptilians, little gray aliens, and their technologies. And I believe that is why I had a photographic memory. I also remember, it probably won't make sense, but you brought it to mind. People talk about it. You ever see the hand and there's an eye in the hand? I forget what that's called. That eye in the hand was given to me in the dumb for what we were forced to be a part of. However, we all need to remember that Satan, dark powers, principalities, and their minions always spit in God's eye. So God has given us all of these gifts, but Satan twists and warps it. So you have to be careful, because Satan will come to you as an angel of light, and that can be confusing to people. They may misinterpret that as being Yeshua, who is the only true living light. But I do believe that when Yahweh gives you a photographic memory, it is a gift. But where I got mine from came from what we did in these DOMs. No, Tara, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, and I'm sorry if I'm not. Tara Riam Firma. No, I did not know Max Spears personally. I never had enough guts to reach out to him while he was alive to ask him questions and to see if he remembered me from the DOMs, because I believe I remember him from the DOMs. But I don't know him personally. I believe I just remember him as a child, and in his videos when he speaks of what he's dealt with, some of those things I believe I was there to witness him go through, because they were doing the same thing to me. But no, I'm not a personal friend or a family member or anything like that. I give all my warmest wishes to his mom and his children in Yeshua's name. But I recall him. Yes, Aryan princess. Yes, you're right. Aryan princess writes, because I've noticed a lot of ritually abused people say they have a photographic memory. Yes. Yes, they chose some of us from before we were born, Julia. Yes. Sasquatch. You mean Bigfoot? Isn't that gruff? I believe Bigfoot is an entity that is not from this dimension and should not be here on Earth. Yeah, I believe it exists, but it's not supposed to be here on Earth. I think Sasquatch could be one of those modified animals, but please don't quote me on that, because again, I'm still learning. I'm still waking up. I don't have all the answers. And there's a lot of great people that do have those answers that I don't have. I'm just one small piece of the puzzle, if that helps. Hi, HH. Bless you. Well, we throw our love back at you and our blessings in Yeshua's name. I hope you have a great day and you don't work too hard. Thank you. Thank you, Addie. Thank you, Melvie. Yes. Yes. I believe I recall James Casbolt from the DOMs as well. I don't think it would be fair for me to mention anybody else's name that I believe I recall from the DOMs, as it might invade someone else's privacy. Adeline says you can thank your local SS eugenics officers for that. Oh, wait, Operation Paperclip. Was it when all those Nazi scientists were brought over here? Yes. Hi, Evelyn Miles. How are you? It's great to see you. My double life. Yes, I was physically living a normal life like everybody else has, but I was also in deep underground military bases. So that's living a double life. And now I've come forward to tell you all about that double life. Karen Harrington, I love you, my dear meek sister. Thank you. You're a doll. Hi, Patchouli. Oh, Patchouli. I send my finest prayers to you. Yes, please don't fall asleep while listening to my videos. You know, when you first fall asleep, you're in that twilight, you're in that lucid dreaming. And that's where trouble can begin. Right before I go to sleep, I always pray to Heavenly Abba Yahweh that He protects me while I'm sleeping, that He does not allow ascended masters to pull me out of my body and into the astral world. I pray that He keeps my alters and subpersonalities and broken pieces in line, which they are. We're getting there. But in that lucid dreaming, in that twilight sleep, that's where I believe you can reach the astral world. You're more susceptible to spiritual attacks. And it's only through the blood of the Lamb that we can protect ourselves from that and keep ourselves from being harmed during that time. Any scientists who worked on them? Therium. I would say listen to Max Spear's testimonies about the Nightmare of Horrors, which is a dump in New Mexico, where they do all of this testing on humans and animals. Shawty, I love you. How are you? You can pick my brain anytime you want, Arian. I'll do my best to give you my answers if it'll help. And sometimes they're just not good answers because, again, I'm still recovering and healing. But I'll do my best. Well, I'm grateful to see you, Addie. I adore you. Catherine O'Connell, how are you? I'm honored to see you. I love you, sweetie. Yes, Addie. Programmed to obey. That's so terrible. Crystal Lane, what are you up to, sweetie? It's great to see you. I'm doing better, Amy. Getting there. Mikkel Watsadi, good morning. My love to you and your loved ones. Hi, Christine Camacho. I'm praying with and for you in Yeshua's name. Let's see. I can't watch other animals kill each other, like dog fights and stuff. Hi, Officer Hot. How are you? Old Soul Maggie. I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you. My prayers to you and your loved ones. Oh, Addie. You're talking about the incubator. Eagle's wings. I love you. My meek mom. Hi, Janet. It's great to see you. Sorry, my screen flipped, so I might have missed some of your comments. Lou Gurley, it's great to see you. I gotta call you. I don't have to. I want to. I will definitely take care of myself, Christine. Agreed. Mikal, I believe you, Mikal. I believe that you have had memories and have memories of being 15 months old. Yes. Yes, I believe one of my first memories is when I was a year and a half old. I believe you, Mikal. You're not alone. Shield Maiden. Hi, Rebecca. I love you. Hi, Bird Celine. I like that. I love you, Jesper. Southern Sister. Argentina. You're from Argentina. Wow. I've been watching news about Argentina. Something inside of my soul always says to pay attention to what's happening in Argentina because it's going to happen to us shortly thereafter. Southern Sister, I lift you and Argentina up to Heavenly Abba. I pray He provides for you. I pray that you are fed well, you have a warm home, and your loved ones with you. I pray that He holds His hand above you and never lets any harm befall you. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name, Selah. Yes, I have heard of Katie Grove Melvie. I've watched some of her videos, and I pray for her as well. We love you, Rebecca. Oh, Mikal. Okay, as long as he's okay. G20 next week. The G20 next week. I'm going to be praying very hard for you, Southern Sister, in Argentina. Okay, I hope this is a good video. I just really appreciate everyone joining me, and I thank you all very much. I'm going to close this out with a quick prayer, and then I'm going to go. In case you're all wondering, it's rent day, and that's why I had to run out before, is because it's rent day, and wanted to make sure my rent was paid on time. Heavenly Abba, I come before you and I lift up this video in my chat room and everyone in my chat room. I pray that you give them extra blessings. I pray that you provide them financial support, food, shelter, clothing. I pray that you reunite them with loved ones. I pray that you strengthen their relationship with their loved ones. I pray that you bless them with spiritual gifts, and I pray that you fill them and overflow them with the Holy Spirit, as it is your Spirit, Heavenly Abba. I pray they have your power, strength, love, and authority in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. Also, I thank you and worship you very much, Yahweh. I thank you for Yeshua HaMashiach. And I thank you for all of these beautiful people that you have put into my life. And I thank you for my support system and spiritual family. I love them to pieces. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name, Selah. I love all of you very, 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 very much. Have a blessed and beautiful day. I will be back soon. And I pray that I can make another good video. And thanks again for joining me.